Hello students, welcome again in the practical session of plant physiology and plant ecology. Today I am demonstrating here one of the major experiment under the section of plant ecology, and the title is to study the morphological and anatomical adaptations in Hydrilla plant. One important thing regarding this particular experimentation or the demonstration is that this is completely virtual demonstration. So I have taken the help of available resources and the internet images to explain the topic. The aim of this experiment is to study the morphological and anatomical adaptations in Hydrilla plant. So for this we require Hydrilla plant, a sharp blade, then safranin stain, glycerin, glass slide, cover slip, compound microscope, and some other necessary things. Okay, now we will see how we perform this particular experiment. Okay, for that we have to take a twig of Hydrilla plant because we are going to study the Hydrilla plant. So we have to take the twig of this particular Hydrilla plant, observe its major morphological characters like how it appears, how its roots are if they are provided, then what are the features of stem and leaves that we have to observe under this particular experimentation. Okay, you have to note down all these morphological features, and then we have to go for anatomy. So for anatomical observations we have to take transverse section of the axis or the stem of Hydrilla. Okay, and then select the fine section of this particular Hydrilla stem and stain it with the safranin, mount it in glycerin on a glass slide and observe under microscope. First we have to observe under 10x, and then if you need some details you can go for 40x or 100x. Okay, now we will see what morphological features or what anatomical features we observe when we take this experimentation. So as far as the Hydrilla plant is there, the morphological features, I had put one of the image from the internet here. This plant is the Hydrilla plant, which is a rooted one. So the first character is it is rooted, submerged, because it is completely inside the water level. Okay, and it is aquatic plant. Now you observe here that the stem is long and slender, it is weak, and it bears nodes and internodes that you will find later. Okay, so these are the weak slender stem which is coming from the underground root. Okay, the root system is not that much developed basically. From that root it comes number of branches or the stem or axis, and each axis is composed of number of nodes and internodes, and on each node it bears small leaves. The leaves are very small and delicate. Okay, let us see the next slide. So here it is one of the drawing. This is the main axis, it bears number of branches, and each branch or the each axis it is having the leaves, small leaves, which are present on the node. Now here you can clearly identify that this particular axis or the stem, it is having the nodes. These are the nodal portions, nodes. These are the nodes. Okay, and the distance between or the part between two nodes, it is called as the internode. Okay, so it is composed of nodes and internodes, and small leaves they comes out in whorls at each node. Okay, now here you can find how that particular branch or the particular stem is so long. Okay, so it is slender, long, weak, it bears nodes and internodes, and the each node bear the number of leaves. Okay, these leaves are very small and delicate. These are the morphological features that you have to find out. And the next one, coming towards the anatomy, once you complete the observation of the morphological features, you have to take the axis, okay, and then take the sections of that particular axis or the stem, fine sections, okay. Select one of the fine sections, then mount that particular section on a glass slide and stain with saponin and add a drop of glycerin, put a cover slip, and then observe under compound microscope. Now under microscope you generally found that this particular stem, the in transverse section it appears the circular, okay, it appears circular, and this outer layer, it is called as the epidermis. It is a single layered, you can find that it is single layer, okay. Radially arranged cells, the cells are compactly arranged, radially arranged cells are there, okay, and without cuticle, it is does not bear the cuticle, okay. Below that you found there are few layers of parenchymatous cells, and these layers are called as the hypodermis. I have not given the name to that, they are called as the hypodermis, okay. And below that there is cortex, and the cortical region, it consists of number of air spaces, that is called as the parenchyma. One of the most important feature of any hydrophytic plant, that is called as the parenchyma, air spaces which are present in the cortex, okay. Then it comes the endodermis and pericycle, they are not found that much developed, okay. And the vascular bundles, it is also represented by a centrally located cavity of xylem and a few phloem elements, okay. We will see later. Another, the air spaces which are present in the cortex, they are called as the parenchyma, that I had told you. The endodermis, which are poorly developed, endodermis and pericycles are poorly developed. Vascular bundle represented by the centrally located xylem and few elements of the phloem, okay. Now after description we have to see which adaptive characters this particular plant is showing. So the first thing is that it is having the weak, slender and elongated stem without cuticle. Now we will see one by one why it is adaptive. First thing, it is the aquatic plant, found mostly in the running water, sometimes it may found in stagnant water also. So what exactly is there in such particular condition? If the water is flowing, okay, it generally carry or blow down the flowers, so the chances of sexual reproduction there are very less, okay. So but that particular plant has to multiply, so as the this particular stem is slender and weak, it can easily fragment it, and each fragment, suppose there is one particular long plant and it get break into 2-3 pieces, so each piece it can grow in a separate plant, so it is a mean for the multiplication. Then another one, cuticle. Cuticle, where cuticle is required, cuticle no doubt it is required for the mechanical strength, but it is also required for the minimizing the water loss. Now as the entire plant is present inside the water, there is no need of cuticle, okay. So this is the adaptive things. Then presence of air chambers or the parenchyma. Parenchyma means the parenchymatous cells which are the large air spaces. As I had already told you, the most of the aquatic plants, they are having this particular character, parenchyma. So this is basically helping, this parenchyma basically helping this plant to flow on or in the water, okay, and it generally reduces the weight of that particular plant. So this is the again adaptive one. The another one, it is having the poorly developed vascular bundle, that means only one central cavity of xylem is present. Now the thing is that what is the function of xylem? The function of xylem is to carry the water. Now if the entire plant is underwater, then what is the reason of development of these particular elements? So that's why this particular plants, they are having less developed vasculature. Okay, again you might have seen that in the earlier slides, that these particular cells of stem, they are also having the chlorophyll pigments. That means the entire plant body along with the leaves, they are performing the function of the photosynthesis. So therefore they do not have that much developed phloem also, because phloem is carrying the food material. So in the functions of this particular vascular elements, xylem and phloem, they get reduced. That's why there is not much development of this particular vascular elements takes place in such plants. Okay, so these are the adaptive characters which are shown by this particular plant, Hydrilla. Okay, and in results you have to write it down that on the basis of the observed adaptive morphological and anatomical characters, both. Here is anatomical characters should be added. Okay, this particular plant is showing, it could be stated that this plant is a hydrophyte, because all the characters, that is weak stem, then without cuticle, presence of chlorophyll pigment in the stems, then presence of parenchyma, then less developed vascular bundle. So all these characters indicates that this particular plant is a hydrophyte, as it shows the number of hydrophytic characters. So this is the complete description regarding the experiment, which has the aim of to study the morphological and anatomical adaptations in Hydrilla plant. So I think you had visualize and understand the concept of hydrophytic adaptation in this particular plant. Thank you very much.